Hey guys, my name is Maria, also known as Maria Chung WX on Instagram. Today's video is going to be all about my March favorites from March 2020. I've got some skincare and some makeup items, so stay tuned if you want to play with some pretty things, and we'll get right into it. Alright, we're kicking things off with skincare. First and foremost, after I cleanse, I like to use this. This is the Mer Treatment Lotion. It's a very watery type of lotion. You can see it's pretty much clear here. Has a very light La Mer scent to it. But what this does for me, it really gets my skin ready for the next steps of skincare. It's very moisturizing. This actually seems to have smoothed my skin quite a bit as far as any texture goes. And this is just the travel size. So you can see it's not terribly big, but I refill it using my bigger bottle. And I use this both morning and night, and I love it. Again, it's really smoothed my skin and made it more plump. Another product that I love for both morning and night is from Guerlain. It is the Youth Watery Oil. Also very runny, but this stuff is liquid gold. It will smooth your skin, it'll plump your skin, and it leaves it with a nice healthy glow. It's not greasy, it soaks in so well. And most impressively, it sits well under makeup. It has a dropper, so I love how that works. But just a couple drops in the morning before my makeup, and everything sits so well on top of it. So I really highly recommend this. And this one is the smallest size you can get. It is 15 milliliters for $50. And I've had this for about 2.5 weeks. So you can see how much I've used. I've used quite a bit. Next up in my skincare routine, I usually put this on next, is the Sisley Paris Eye Contour Mask. This is not cheap. It comes with 1 fluid ounce. But the tiniest bit goes the longest way. This also is very smoothing. It has a slight cooling effect to my under eyes. I also put a little bit on my eyelids because they tend to get dry. But this keeps everything hydrated, smooth, and plump throughout the day. Next, depending on how my skin's doing, I'll either grab for the La Mer Soft Cream or my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Will go over La Mer first. So I have both the original and this, the soft cream. This one's a little bit thinner, of course. It soaks in much more readily. You don't have to do the thing where you warm it up and melt it between your hands. This one's ready to go. But this one's good for the warmer months when it is, you know, when you're not quite as dry. So if you need extra moisture, go for the original, but this one is lovely. I go for this if I need more moisture than what this one provides. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Now this also is pretty thick. It's thicker than the soft cream, not quite as thick as the original La Mer. It's like a good in between if you're thinking of the textures of the two. It's in between the La Mer Soft Cream and original. But one thing I love about this, aside from the very clean and fresh scent, this actually has SPF 15. So it's not the strongest SPF, but it is, you know, helpful. If that's something you're interested in, a little goes a long way. I've had this for about a month now. But this also does, it provides a nice smooth canvas. Makeup goes on so well on top of this. So depending on how my skin's doing, I either reach for my La Mer or my Magic Cream. Now when it comes to my nighttime routine, I do both, again, the La Mer Treatment Lotion and the Guerlain Youth Watery Oil. But then the next steps do differ in my daytime. I go for either this, which is the Shiseido Benefiance Smoothing Eye Cream. Thanks to Influencer, I did get this through them. But this one is so dense and emollient. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's incredibly dense, incredibly moisturizing to the point where it doesn't soak in quite as well, which is why I reserve it for the evenings. But this one still has a slight moisturizing sheen in the morning, so you can imagine how moisturizing that is. Again, that's the Shiseido Benefiance for my evening eye cream. And this is a new brand to me. It's also very moisturizing. You still feel moisture in the morning, which is why I save it for the nighttime. But this is the Sobel Skin RX Bio Hyaluronic Moisturizing Cream, same thing. It's very rich, very moisturizing. So again, I save this one for the evenings. You can see the texture. Doesn't seem that thick, but it's incredibly rich. And it soaks in so well, but still leaves your skin feeling very plump and moisturized in the morning. So that's one of my other favorite skincare items that I have found in the month of March. And that's it. Alright guys, now this might be my favorite. Let's talk about favorite makeup. We'll start off with lips, since I do love lip glosses and lipsticks. One of my favorite lip products for what has seemed like the past few months is the Viseart Moisture Boost Lip Shine. And the shade in particular that I really love is called Beignet. Aside from having the cutest name, it is the prettiest caramel nude. It's rather sheer. The scent is Italian prickly pear, and it has a really nice doe foot. As you can see, it's not too stiff. There's just a little bit of give to it. But as far as the color, again, it's just a nice, sheer, warm, kind of tan brown color that goes really well with any warm tone looks or neutral. So there's that one. It's a little bit sheer, like you can see. And for other glosses, I have two other favorites. I have Pat McGrath. I always love the Lust glosses. This one is in the shade Secret Lover. It's more of a cool toned pink, which is not normally my shade, but this one is lovely, especially for cooler toned looks. Also a doe foot applicator, and it has a slight curve to it, so it hugs your lips. But this is Secret Lover, and you can see the opacity on this one's actually fairly impressive. It's pretty opaque. It's a great color in general, great for cool toned looks or neutral, and it actually plays well with my pale yellow toned skin. The other lip gloss, one of my all-time favorites, doesn't matter the time of year, it is Buxom Lip Polish in Celeste. It has the prettiest sparkle, you can see that. It has more of a silvery tone, but when you put it on your lips, it has kind of an iridescent sparkle to it. Let's go ahead and swatch that. Right next to Secret Lover, and you're going to see it has more of a frosty tone to it. Sheer, of course, but it's just the prettiest sheer peachy pink with that multi-dimensional sparkle. Now, I don't normally love liquid lipsticks. They tend to be very dry and cracky looking on my lips. I do have very dry lips. But the Jeffree Star Liquid Velour Lipstick in the shade Unicorn Blood, thanks to Betsy, I see you, BE Girl 15. She introduced this to me, and it is pure love for red lips. Now this also has a doe foot that has a scoop out of it. It makes application really easy. A little goes a long way. It's extremely pigmented, and that swatches like that. So this is more of a rusty red. Very, very pretty. One of the most complimented lip colors that I have. So I love that one. So don't be shocked if you see me wearing that quite a bit. As far as lipsticks go, let me go grab one real quick. I'll be right back. But I do love several formulas. I'll grab a couple of my favorites. Okay, so I grabbed two favorite formulas. I love, love, love Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This one is in the shade Hepburn Honey. And this one also is one of those tan, kind of warm toned, peachy, orangey shades. And the swatch right there. If you see it next to Beignet, also very warm toned. This one has more of a peach beige undertone versus the caramel. But it's so smooth, it's so hydrating. It does not emphasize my lip lines whatsoever, so that's winning all around. And perhaps one of my favorite new formulas, this was gifted to me, but it completely caught me off guard. The Buxom Full Force Plumping Lipsticks. They are very sleek. They have this lovely tube. It's magnetic, which is nice. I just grabbed a random shade. This one is the shade Shaker. It is very bright. It is very pigmented. It's a nice hot pink. And you can see just how pigmented that is. They're very creamy. They also have a smoothing texture, or smoothing quality to them for your lips. So if you have lip lines like mine that show up quite a bit, it is actually extremely hydrating. They have a slight tingle, just like the lip polishes, which I love. So that is it. Those are my favorite lip products for the month of March. Now moving on to some other products. Oh, I didn't even see this one here. This one's my other favorite, sorry. In the shade Goddess. So Goddess is a true beautiful nude. We'll swatch it next to the other nudes. So if you're seeing, it's more beigey and neutral than Hepburn Honey, but it's beautiful. And that one is in the shade Goddess. Definitely one that has not left my side since I got it. Moving along, I have one favorite eyeshadow palette. I have several actually, but I wanted to just show you one in particular. No shock here, it is from Viseart, and it is the Viseart Paris Edit. It has the prettiest packaging. It is that pale, dusty, rosy pink. Don't mind me, I'm wiping off my hands so we can show you some swatches. But this is the Paris Edit. It is the perfect travel size. I am the person who hates taking the little stickers off the mirror, so bear with me. But it has the prettiest shades. I did not know if this would work on my yellow tone skin, and yes, it absolutely does. Some of the shades in particular stand out to me as being unique and ones that I don't have in my collection. That would be this one right here, the prettiest kind of pale, shimmery, icy pink. This one right here also is lovely. Let's get a couple more swatches just to show you the ones that I use the most. All right, and if you don't know already, if you don't know much about Viseart, some of these shades are re-promotes from the Paris 12 pan palette, the Paris Nudes, and others were created to match those Moisture Boost lip shines, which I think is so awesome that they did that. Again, Viseart's my favorite brand for many reasons. They just do things right. But for those 4 shades I just swatched, just go ahead and take a look at these colors. The shimmers are unlike anything else for Viseart. They're smooth, they're creamy, they apply so well. So let's go ahead and show you finger swatches of those on my hand. So again, they have that ultra foiled, ultra wet look, which I love. They're multi-dimensional. And again, these are shades I normally would not have assumed would work well on my skin tone. There's that matte peachy color. And then we'll go with this one. It's more of a bronze. That one is a re-promote. But they're not shades I normally would have assumed would have worked for me, but their team is amazing and they create shadows that work for pretty much anyone. So the best thing about these palettes, aside from the fact that they are travel friendly, they're great sizes, is that the little pans actually do pop out. If you see that little groove, that's so you can stick your fingernail right in there and pop them out. So if you have any of the other Edit palettes or Petite Pros, you can easily pop them out, mix and match. I make a good custom palette all the time with my bigger palettes. I haven't yet with my smaller, but I totally plan to. So it just makes the brand so unique, so thoughtful, and so travel friendly. So Viseart, again, nailed it as always. So that's my top eyeshadow pick. They also did have the most recent Petite Pro Shoo Shoo, which I love. But this one, if I had to choose this one, is my favorite for the month of March, the Paris Edit. Moving on to face now. I'm gonna leave that swatch there. I can't get over how pretty those are. Hands down, my favorite powder for the month is the Chantecaille Hummingbird Collection. This one is the Perfect Blur Finishing Powder. I got this about 2.5 weeks ago, and I've used it nonstop. As you can see, the pretty design on it is already gone. This is a very lovely pale apricot type of shade. It's very silky. They say it's more that baked texture, but see how it does have a slight tint to it. And what this powder does for me is just very smoothing. It's more of like an airbrushed finish. So if I want, what I'll typically do, I'll do my makeup. I will set it down with my By Terry Hyaluronic powder under my eyes, and then I will give a quick little, let's see if I can give you a swatch here to see what happens. I will give it a quick little swipe of this powder, and it just blurs, as Michelle Wong said it best, like an Instagram filter for your skin. I don't know if you can really tell, but it really does get rid of any texture. It just smooths your skin so well. So I love that. I actually got a backup of it. It is limited edition. You can't beat the packaging. It's gorgeous. So again, that's my favorite powder from Chantecaille. I use it more so as just a perfecting powder. I don't know if I'd say a setting powder or a finishing powder, but I do love this one quite a bit. For foundations, I found this hidden gem in my collection already. I love a good natural finish, so the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. I have this in 2 shades. I use G30 and G40. G30 is a little bit more brightening for me. G40 is slightly gray toned, but those are great. They last all day and have a natural finish. And these products from Chanel, holy cow, you guys. I was not a believer of liquid highlighters until I met these. The Rosy Light Drops, those are, I believe, permanent, and they had been sold out for quite some time. Those actually were back in stock as of yesterday, the 29th. I don't know if they still are. And then the newest one from the Le Beige 2020 collection. This is the shade Pearly Glow. And I love both of them. If I were to choose just one, which is hard to say, I'd probably say the Rosy Light Drops, only because it is slightly more unique in my collection. It has a slight pink tint to it, as you're seeing. It is lovely. Both are really pretty. It's slightly more cool toned. Pearly Glow has more of an, I don't want to say opalescent, more of a beige sheen to it, but they're both very pretty. Let's do some swatches because I know you want to see that. If I can open this, I hate knowing I don't want to accidentally waste any of it. So that's the Rosy Light Drops. Don't mind a little dry piece there. That's just because it had not been used for a day or two. And then as far as Pearly Glow goes, there's Pearly Glow. So those are the two. Let me share them out. So as you're seeing, very sheer, very pretty. They both have a very light Chanel scent. And there's Pearly Glow. So you can definitely tell the difference. Some people can't as easily. I do. One, again, you have Rosy Light Drops, has that lovely pink sheen, and Pearly Glow, there we go, is slightly more beige with, I don't want to say frosty, but a little bit icier of a sheen on my skin tone. They're both super pretty. All right, so let's move on. I know you don't want to, but we'll go on to blush. I was gifted these lovely Waterlust blushes from Buxom. My favorite shades are Seychelles, which is more of a tan, and also this one. This one is in the shade Mykonos, so it is more of a bright, vibrant peach. Just really, really pretty on my skin tone, and I imagine on cooler tones as well. So see how it has almost a corally type of undertone, like almost melon. We're going to pair that with the Viseart and show you that. So see how pretty that is together. So that's why I think I chose them both as my favorites. I'm definitely feeling a certain color story right now. But it has this lovely little sheen to it as well. The staying power is wonderful. So imagine that paired with a warmer, slightly neutral toned eye, using these shadows, and I think you're all set for spring. Another great powder I've ran into this month was one I saw through Mel Thompson, Michelle Wing, but that is the Sisley Paris Vito Poudre Libre. I'm saying that completely wrong, in the shade 1 Iris. So with this one, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I apply that. There has a little puff in there. My Sony G Face 1 brush. I go ahead and get a little bit on the brush. I'm gonna be a little bit clumsy, I'm right-handed, folks. But when I do this, see, I don't have that much powder on there. I do that buffing motion. So by doing the buffing motion, I'm getting more of the sheen from this powder. I don't know if you can tell on camera, hopefully you can. Several of you have asked about my complexion and how I get it to be so, not shiny, but more of that sheen. I'm gonna put more powder just to really emphasize this. This also gives that blurred effect, the slight sheen, the healthy glow that y'all have noticed. So this is it. That's how I do it, using this brush. Again, you just kind of buff it in. and it gives almost a slight healthy glow. So I don't know if you can see compared to the other hand. Not really, but it does have a slight blurred effect and slight sheen that makes your skin look perfect. Let's talk about brushes. I know I've had that question from several folks. We just talked about the Synergy Face 1, which I love. Robin, Alarum Beauty, told me about this one. Hi, Robin. I also love the Wayne Goss airbrush. I use this one. It's squirrel hair. It's very soft. I use this to apply my blushes or highlighters. It tends to give the most finished, most polished, radiant look to any products that I've had. It really brings out that sheen, so I love this one quite a bit. And you're seeing how very flexible it is. It also has a really nice shape. When I apply my liquid, my highlighting fluids from Chanel, the Sephora Pro Featherweight Complexion Brush has been wonderful for that. And that's the number 90 Pro Featherweight Complexion Brush from Sephora. And what I'll do, I'll just pump a little onto my hand, dab it, and spread it evenly, and then just dab it onto my face. So now again, you're seeing more of what they look like dried down. So I know you can see a difference there. But yes, I just dab that onto my cheeks or wherever I want it. Love it quite a bit. And as far as my favorite powder brush, I got this last year. It's from Buxom. It's a nice sable-haired brush. It's nice and fluffy, extremely soft, and very, I'd say moderately dense. But this is the Buxom, let's see, where's the number on there? X51 brush. So that's been my powder brush when I'm kind of powdering under my eyes, my face all over. Sometimes I'll use it as a bronzer brush. And that's it. So hopefully watching this video has helped you see all the things I'm loving in the month of March. There's quite a lot, so I will have everything down in the description box, as well as the shade names, where you can buy them. I apologize if some of them are sold out temporarily. Hopefully they're not. And I know that Chantecaille powder is limited edition. I did get a backup. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely go check that out. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found some new favorites. If you have any questions, please ask below. I'm happy to help. If you have other requests for things that you'd want to see, just let me know. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Maria Chung WX. Thanks guys, bye.